We're on.
I have both jacks. I don't remember.
Really? I struggle to find one jack.
Jack has two jacks. Are we on, Alicia? Okay, thank you. Do we have sound? All right. Hello, everyone. Shabbat shalom.
Lie, not oh, yo. All right, all key of sets today.
Oh, jeez. Okay, I have to turn them on.
Because you took your mask off.
I know.
So we have a friend named Phil. Hi, Phil. If you're watching, we're
Hi,
talking about you.
Phil.
And she can't hear unless she puts her glasses on.
Oh, that's beautiful. Poetic.
Let's see. Is this on? Good. What? Why are you? Why are you wearing a mask? I heard there was a secret chord. That
This is for you,
Where's
Cantor.
the other one?
The other, what? I didn't grab
This?
that one. There's this one.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't.
Can't touch this.
Don't touch me. Good. You know that song?
I do it.
You like do it. Can't touch this.
It's got a good rhythm. No.
That's hammer time.
Hammer time. Okay.
What time is it?
Hammer time. I don't know. 13.
Such a Jewish time. Of course, did my thing print the papers?
I don't know. Do you want me to check something?
I gotta make sure it prints. Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, Bekadosh Baruch Hu. Moachem LeShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lai, 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 lai. Baruchuni LeShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem LeShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lai, 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 lai.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is so joyful to know that there are so many of you out there participating in Shabbat services with us tonight. Hopefully you saw our little candle lighting just a few moments ago. If not, we're going to take care of all that, get it all started again, even though you are on your devices right now, watching and participating in the service. Let's also remember that it's still Shabbat. And so let's be conscious of how we're using our technology in a sacred and holy way tonight. So maybe you want to mute your messenger or turn off your FaceTime notifications or whatever it might be, so you can be, as we always are when we come together, centered and present in this beautiful moment of Shabbat peace, Shabbat rest, even though it happens in a bit of a different way. We find that opportunity to set this time apart, and we begin to do so with Shabbat light. Rabbi Khan will light the candles for us. You can find the blessing in the book for Shabbat and festivals, page 2, or in the big book, page 120.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav metzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We continue with Lecha Dodi. You can find it on page 138 in the larger book, or page 20 in the Shabbat and Festivals book. We welcome the Shabbat bride. We'll begin with all the verses together. You may be seated as you are right now, and then if you would like to rise and face the entrance of your room or your home when we get to the final verse, please feel free to do so. Or not, we won't know. Either way.
Ya la 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 lecha dodi, ya la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 panei Shabbat nekar. Shamor v'zachor, Shamor v'zachor, v'digur echad, Ishmianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, Ushmo echad, L'shemo tiferet ve'letilah. Ya lai lai, ya la 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 la, l'chad todi. Ya la 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 la, l'krat kala. Ya la 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 la, Pnei Shabbat, Pnei Shabbat, Kabbalat. Top of the next page, verse 5. Oreri. Itoreri. Itoreri. Kivarech umiori. Uri, uri. Shir daveri. Kevod Adonai, alayich niglai. Lai, 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 ya la 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 la, l'chad todi. Ya la la, ya la 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 la, l'krat kala. Ya la 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 la, Pnei Shabbat, Pnei Shabbat, Kabbalat.
Let's rise and face the entrance.
Oi veshalom, ateret vala, gam besimcha, utzola, toch emunei, am segula. Boi chala, boi chala. Let's try together. Ya la la, ya la 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 la, l'chad todi. Ya la la, ya la 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 la, l'krat kala. Ya la 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 la, Pnei Shabbat, Pnei Shabbat, Kabbalat. Ya la 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 la, l'chad todi. Ya la la, ya la 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 la, l'krat kala. Ya la 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 la, Pnei Shabbat, Pnei Shabbat, Kabbalat.
Let's be seated and continue with the Chatzi Kaddish, which you'll find on page 144 or page 26.
יתקטל ויתקדש שמי רביו, ועלמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי לכל בית ישראל. פקלה פקלה, ובזמן קריב אמרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבם מבורך, לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתבר ויתרומה וינשא, ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה, בריחו, לילה בין כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה ואמרו Amen.
We take a moment now to ask for God's blessings on those who are observing Shiva or Shloshim, the immediate 7 and 30-day mourning period. If you wish to, please stand at this time so that we may ask for God's blessings upon you. Hamakom yenachem etchem, may you be comforted among the mourners of Zion and of Jerusalem. We turn to the Baruch, page 146 or page 28, and stand together.
Lai la lai 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 lai. Lai la lai 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 lai. Lai la lai 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 la lai 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 lai. Lai la lai 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 lai. Lai la lai 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 la lai 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 lai. Lai la lai 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 lai. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
We turn to Ma'ariv, Aravim, page 31 or 149. We find comfort in this difficult, strange period of time with those things that are unchanging, with those things that are regular, like the rising of the sun in the morning and the setting of the sun at night, the moon that comes out, and the cycles of the earth that continue on. And yet, it still feels as though everything is different. As our prayer says, this is an hour of change. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over?
El Chai v'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Hamari Aravim.
Page 32 or 150. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
מאהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. 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 ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
Let's be seated, page 36 or 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת.
This past Tuesday, I had the opportunity to study many different versions of what that moment at the parting of the sea looked like from the perspective of the Israelites. There were probably 15 of us on Zoom, all having this great chat of what it might have been like. And we looked at a few different midrashim, and one of the ones that always stands out to me is the story of the crossing of the sea, where the Israelites get to the edge and notice there's no way across. And all of the tribes of Israel begin fighting with one another. I'm going to go first. No, I'm going to go first. Or maybe it's you go first. No, you go first. Because everyone's a little nervous about how it is exactly that they're going to get across the sea. Until the women, looking around at the chaos around them, look at one another. I look at Jackie. And they know. They know here's what we're going to do. They all join hands and together walk into the sea, around the chaos, calmly joining hands, walking into the sea together. And it's at that moment when they join hands that the sea begins to part. And in that moment when we were discussing it, we all had that idea that it reminds us of this reading from our book here. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, and that the way to that promise passes through the wilderness. And there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Michamocha, page 40 or 158.
Michamocha, Bailim Adonai, Michamocha Nedar Bakodesh, Noha Tehilot, Osefele, Noha Tehilot, Osefele, Yai, Lai, 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 Yai, Lai, 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 Lai. Balechutecha ra'u banecha, bokei ayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Zeili anu ve'yameru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Yai, lai, lai, lai. Let's join together at home. Lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, lai, lai. Lai, 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 lai. ונאמר כי ודענו את יעקב, וגדול והחזק ממנו. ברוך אתה
we take shelter, we continue to seek shelter, that shelter of peace over each one of us. Hashkivenu, page 42 or 160.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. 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 Ushmor tzeiteinu uvoeinu lechaim u'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam. We continue together. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim.
Page 44 or 162.
ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם.
We turn to the Amidah, page 46 or page 164, our standing prayer. Some of you may not know that Rabbi Khan and I have a long-standing disagreement about the way we invite into prayer, whether we say please stand or please rise. He says bread rises, people stand. He's got a good point. And I say stand because he's the boss. Well, so I'm going to do my own thing. As you are at home, and you have this opportunity to pray in a way that feels best to you, whether you're going to stand or you're going to rise or whether you're going to stay seated, this is really your business. But this past service at Yizkor, Rabbi Emily Langwitz from our friends over at Temple Solel offered that whether or not you're rising or whether or not you're standing, what matters less than the position of your body is the direction of your heart. And whether in what way are you rising today? In what way are you standing up today? In what way are you taking this moment and allowing it to change you and make you better? So whatever it is you're doing, whether you're standing, whether you're rising, whether you're staying seated, whether you're like on another YouTube page while you're also watching this, whatever it is, let this moment change you as we join together for the Amidah, page 46 or 164.
Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, בחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומיתו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
You may be seated. Page 55 or 173 at the top of the page. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day, and may all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Page 57 or 175. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. We take this moment for our own individual prayer and reflection.
And now I invite all of you who are sitting at home to turn to page 371 or 675 in a song commemorating Yom Hashoah. I believe with perfect faith in the coming of the Messiah, and even if the Messiah be delayed, I will await the Messiah. Ani mamin, ani mamin, ani mamin, ani mamin, me'emunah shlema, Meviat HaMashiach ani mamin, Beviat HaMashiach, Meviat HaMashiach ani mamin. Let's join together. Ani mamin, ani mamin, ani mamin, ani mamin. Be'emunah shlema, be'emunah עם כל זה אני מאמין, ויף על פי שיתממע, עם כל זה אני מאמין.
In a moment, we will pray for our loved ones who are in need of our prayers for healing on the Shabbat. Before we join together for our healing prayer, I'd like to, as become a tradition over these last few weeks, share a special prayer written by our colleague Rabbi Ayelet Cohen for health and healing of healers, of those who are in the caring professions. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless those who put themselves at risk to care for the sick, physicians and nurses and orderlies, technicians and home health aides, EMTs and pharmacists. Bless them in their coming home and bless them in their going out. Ease their fears and sustain them. Source of all breath, healer of all beings, protect them and restore their hope. Strengthen them that they may bring strength. Keep them in health that they may bring healing. Help them know again a time when they can breathe without fear. Bless the sacred work of their hands. May this plague pass from among us speedily and in our days. Amen. And now we take a moment to think of our friends and family in need of our own prayers for healing on this Shabbat. As a congregation, we wish refuah shlema to Bill Adler, Stacy Adler, Shirley Friedlander, Gershon Ben Miriam, Max Goldberg, Tina Gomberg, Ilana Goldschmidt, Hallie Gratis, Jeff Klein, Janie Andrea Kramer, Label David Ben Sarah Leah, Stacy Megalaitis, Nancy Moffett, Russell Pollack, Rabbi J. Adele Plotkin, Michael Peeler Smith, Don Rosenblum, Sally Rosenblum, Kathy Sethalter, Jim Unruh, Rachmel Tzvin, Ben Devora, Yosef Ben Miriam. If you wish at this time, please say the name of a loved one out loud, or you are, of course, welcome to type in their names under the comments. And let's all join together wishing for all a refuah shlema, refuah tenefesh, refuah teguf, healing of mind and of body and of spirit.
Refainu Adonai v'nerafeh, Hoshienu v'nifasheya, El karov lechol korav, ach karov lireyav yishon. We pray for healing of the body. We pray for healing of the soul, for strength of flesh and mind and spirit. We pray to once again be whole. Refuat ha-nefesh, urefuat ha-guf, refuat shlema, heal us now. Heal us now. We pray for healing of the body. We pray for for healing of the soul, for strength of flesh and mind and spirit. We pray to once again be whole. El Narefana. Oh, please heal us now. Refuat ha-nefesh, refuat ha-guf, refuat shlema. Heal us now. Heal us now. Heal us now.
And now we take a moment to ask for God's blessings upon our country and for the state of Israel. Page 376 or 258. Let's join together on the bottom of the page. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen. Shalu shalom Yerushalayim yisha'alu avayich. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper again together. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. So I'm just going to move my little music stand up here, because someone told me last week that there were shadows, and it was like on my, which I would think would be an improvement if you weren't able to see my face, but nonetheless, in the spirit of my mother's memory, I'm sure someone would say, I can't see your face. So now you can. Sorry. Shabbat Shalom. It's great to be with my colleagues, and no matter, I was just telling someone on the phone before services that I felt like I hit a wall today. Rabbi.
Sorry to hear that, Rabbi.
But then, Shabbat is, the wall has been lifted. I feel so much better now. I really do. And so it sort of seems like we were going through this pattern where every day is blending into the other. And so from time to time, I think we all hit a wall, and then Shabbat comes, and here we are. So when I was 1 years old, 1970, April 17th, I was 1 year and 2 months old. Jim Lovell, Jack Swigert, and Fred Hayes were on a mission called Apollo 13. And on this day, April 17th, 1970, after what must have been beyond scary and beyond exhausting, I mean, you want to talk about, these guys didn't sleep for hours and hours and days on end, they landed safely. On April 17th, 1970. So many of you probably remember. I do not remember, although I'm sure my parents probably, they were the kind of parents who would put me in front of the television because something important was happening, even if I didn't remember it, so that one day I could say, yeah, my parents put me in front of the TV. So for those of you who do remember, a few days before the 17th, Hayes and Swigert and Lovell appeared on television, and they did their from the spacecraft shtick. In those days, there was no YouTube. In those days, there was no FaceTime. And in those days, which I'm sure we could do now, there was no 24/7 live coverage from the Apollo 13 rocket. But they did have a television appearance, and by then, the Apollo missions were old hat. It did not go live. They didn't preempt the television shows that were on that evening to show the three astronauts in space. No one really cared. People were mostly over it at that point by Apollo 13. About 5.5, 6 minutes after their television appearance, I believe it was on April 14th, they were told to stir the oxygen tank on their spacecraft, and at around 30 hours, about 50 minutes into the mission, Swigert stirred the tanks, and to get the oxygen tanks stirred, then something terrible happened. Something unbelievable happened. The entire system caused an explosion in space on the rocket ship. One entire panel of the spacecraft was bolted out into space, and Jim Lovell started to see gas leaking, which was ultimately oxygen, into space, and then he said those famous words, "Okay, Houston, we've had a problem." That must have been, from the time that they stirred the tanks until they landed safely at splashdown in the Pacific Ocean, some of the most amazing, life-humbling, scary moments. In a subsequent interview, Jim Lovell said, "Imagine you're living inside an empty Coke can, and you hear the aluminum, the outer part of the can, crinkling every second of every minute of every hour for 3 full days." That's what it felt like, that they were inside an empty can of Coke and hearing that crinkling in the tunnel between the Lunar Excursion Module, or LEM, and Apollo, the rocket ship, the craft that they were supposed to be living in. And they spent those days, minute after minute, hour after hour, day after day, really in a liminal space between life and death on the spacecraft. And all of a sudden, humanity became interested. And people started following Apollo 13 until again, in 1970, exactly 50 years ago today, they landed safely. I bring this to your attention because our Torah portion for this Shabbat, Shemini, contains a story, another story of tragedy and disaster that actually did not turn out. Lovell famously called Apollo 13 a successful failure, but what happens in this week's Parsha is a disaster. There are many interpretations as to the story in Parashat Shemini as to why Aaron's 2 sons, Nadav and Avihu, his 2 eldest sons, died in the sanctuary as it was being dedicated and as the priesthood was celebrating the first ever ordination. Aaron, the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, and his 4 sons, Nadav, Avihu, Itamar, and Issachar, were all being, Itamar and Eleazar were being ordained for the first time in the Mishkan, and the Mishkan became activated. They had liftoff, if you will, of the Mishkan. Later on, after the ordination was over, Aaron's 2 eldest, as I said, Nadav and Avihu, go into the area outside the Holy of Holies, and for some reason, arrange what is called an Eish Zarah. They created a strange or weird or alien fire with their fire pans outside of the Holy of Holies. And according to a midrash, the fire leapt up out of the altar through their nostrils and burnt them from the inside out. Now, the Torah isn't as graphic as that. The rabbis actually created that midrash, which, fun fact, Steven Spielberg used in the image at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, when the Nazis are standing around the Ark of the Covenant and the fire goes through their nostrils and melt them. Came from a rabbinic midrash. But nonetheless, they die immediately. They have not a successful failure. They have a disastrous failure, tragic failure. Now, there are many reasons the rabbis give us, many interpretations, many commentaries, as to why it is that this fire leapt up and burnt them and killed them. Some midrashim, some commentaries say that they wanted to show up their dad, Aaron, by offering sort of like an extra credit sacrifice. They wanted to impress God, and they wanted to, again, one-up their dad, Aaron, and their uncle Moses, and so they went in and offered that fire, and God didn't like that. Others say that the sons hadn't married yet, and this was God's way of punishing them for being as old as they were, having not been married. Some said that they didn't seek any guidance. They basically threw the laws and the rules that were written in Leviticus up to this point that really assigned their dad, Aaron, the Kohen Gadol, the high priest. And another explanation is that they went into the Holy of Holies itself that only Aaron was allowed to go into. But nonetheless, the consensus interpretation, there are so many interpretations, so many commentaries on what happened, but the main sort of, like I said, consensus is that they were really carried away in this ordination. You know, Rabbi Mason Barkin and I were ordained as rabbis. It was a very exciting moment when the president of the Hebrew College blesses us, lays hands on our heads, and imbues us with the rabbinate. But we didn't go out that night and say, oh, let's go offer a sacrifice or take over the temple or change the furniture around on the bima, right? Like, that would be bad. And I'm sure the cantor's ordination was equally powerful, but he didn't go out partying with his beloved Sarah, with whom he is celebrating his anniversary tonight, and do some crazy, wild thing. But the consensus is that they got a little crazy. They got a little excited. They got a little enthusiastic by the ordination, and they were in the spirit of the moment, and they went and had a spontaneous party outside of the Holy of Holies. They wanted something extra, something uncommanded, something above and beyond, and for that they got shmeist. My word, not the Torah's word. This is really what the rabbis believe, that the priests, the Kohen Gadol, Aaron and his son, were in charge of things that were orderly. If we've read the words of Leviticus from the beginning until now, some people say, oh, that's boring, it doesn't affect me, it's all about sacrifices. But it is so explicit and so clear and so ordered as to how sacrifices should and should not be offered. How the mikdash, the holiness of the Mishkan, the tabernacle, should be honored, and most importantly, how things like the fire and the pans should be used. And that really, as priests, they had no business going above and beyond. It showed that their sin was that they lacked humility. They lacked the ability to control themselves, to stay within some lines, some very clearly distinguished lines, and to be humble. The job of a priest was to be the guardian of order, to be humble, to walk with those, as the Talmud says, two pieces of paper always in each pocket, one that said, for me the world was created, and the other that says, I am but dust and ashes. In other words, to be confident in their priesthood, to be confident in their role, but to know that it had limits. And to know that you can't just do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it, especially if you're a Kohen. Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, the former chief rabbi of the United Kingdom, says, the priestly vocation was to remind the people of limits. There is an order to the universe that we must respect. Spontaneity has no place in the life of the priests or the service of the sanctuary. That is what Nadav and Avihu failed to honor. It might have seemed like a minor transgression, offering this extra fire, but it was in fact a negation of everything the tabernacle and the priesthood stood for. I think we're living in a time now especially if we think back 50 years to the Apollo 13 mission, where we are in, or at least recognizing, that liminal space between life and death, between order and chaos, and between arrogance and humility. Like many of you, I have been so disturbed by what's happening already in our news cycle. It didn't take long for everyone to start yelling at each other again. And over all the shouting and all the noise, to forget that in the United States alone, almost 37,000 people have died from coronavirus. In the United States alone, almost 37,000 people have died, and 706,000 people have been diagnosed. That in our world, over 153,000 people have died, and 2.2 million have been diagnosed, and it's not over yet. If we can't be humble enough to begin to think about what led to coronavirus, what we can learn from this death so that the dying don't die in vain, if we can't take a moment to be humble enough to know that we don't know more than we think that we do, if we can't recognize that Black and brown people have disproportionately suffered from this disease, and that's a reflection on us as a society, for those who don't have health care or access to health care, that reflects on us, then we've learned nothing. Rabbi Sachs continues, and I believe he uses this example to reflect, or at least to teach us, that maybe coronavirus and viruses in general are a reflection or a response of the energy of the world. That is to say, not a punishment. This is not punitive, but perhaps a reminder. And I don't think it's too early to say this. He uses, Rabbi Sachs, the classic example of what's been happening up until now in our environment. And he says the following: as Jared Diamond has documented in his books, guns, germs, and steel and collapse, almost wherever human beings have set foot, they have left a trail of destruction in their wake. They have farmed lands to exhaustion, hunted animals to extinction. They have done so because they have not had, embedded in their minds and habits, the notion of limits. Hence the concept key to environmental ethics of sustainability, meaning limiting your exploitation of the earth's resources to the point where they can renew themselves. A failure to observe those limits causes human beings to be exiled from their own Garden of Eden. I believe that with everything, as the Talmud says, ein ra she'ein ba tov, that nothing terrible, horrific, and tragic happens without something good attached to it. And I believe, whether you call it a silver lining or a message from the universe, or perhaps a response of the cosmos, when we think just today of nearly 37,000 deaths in the United States and over 150,000 in the world, there's got to be something the environment, the world, the energy of the universe, the life force that we call God is trying to tell us. That we've gone over our limits, that we've crossed boundaries, and that we must take this time to reflect on what those limits and boundaries are. That perhaps it isn't time to stand up in front of the community and tell people how great we are and how smart we are and how much we know, but rather to have the humility instead of the arrogance to say, we don't know. To not think like Nadav and Avihu, that we can do whatever we want to do, wherever we want to do it, and there are no consequences, is folly. I think back to Apollo 13 and to the interviews I'm sure we've all seen of Jim Lovell saying that every second and every minute and every hour of that mission, from the time of the explosion until they landed, they knew what they didn't know. If you could count the times that Lovell has stated in interviews over the last 50 years that they had absolutely no idea what was going on, but that they knew they needed to go from step to step to step with humility, knowing what was not known, even though they had the support of NASA, knowing that they were in liminal space between life and death, and that they needed to take everything that they did seriously, and that they needed to be mindful of every second and every moment and every step. They lived with that one piece of paper that gave them the confidence to make it, and that other piece of paper saying, you may die the next minute. And their life's work has been teaching us and telling us that one of the mechanisms for survival for them on that almost fateful mission was humility. The ability to know what we don't know, to see what can't be seen, and then to use every ounce of our spirit, every ounce of our souls to learn something from tragedy, even as we are in the middle of the tragedy. Rabbi Sachs concludes his Devar this week by saying, I believe that we need to recover a sense of what limits mean. In our uncontrolled search for ever greater influence, we are endangering the future of the planet and betraying our responsibility to generations not born. This is not just an environmental message or a message of environmentalism. It's a message about limits and boundaries and borders, and ultimately of humility, of knowing what we don't know, but of knowing that in our pursuit of doing whatever we want to do and attempting to do it whenever we want to do it, that when we do that and we leave people behind, that when we aspire to material gain without thinking about those who don't have, that when we aren't able to stand here, even as I do tonight, with amazing gratitude, that I have a job, that I am blessed, and that those blessings inspire and move me to aspire to greater things, that if we can't do any of that, that in fact, we may not ultimately survive as a people and as humans. I hope we can all reflect on what is going on in the world around us and not immediately go to how it's affecting me, but how it is affecting us. And may the lessons that we learn and the ways that we learn us bring us closer to that humility that we so desperately need, so that we do not become like Nadav and Avihu, that we establish and create and teach to our children that there are limits and there is order, and the balance between order and chaos is paper thin. Houston, we've had a problem. L'taken olam b'malchut Shaddai, healing the world for the sake of God, is our mission. Shabbat Shalom.
Yasher Koach, Rabbi Khan, those are some powerful words for us to all take to heart and learn from. We have many announcements, much going on, very little of it in the building, in fact, none of it. We will be meeting online tomorrow in the Zoom room for Shabbat morning Torah study at 9 a.m. See your email for the link, bring your own coffee, and join us with me tomorrow morning. Torah study will be followed by Shabbat morning services on YouTube and Facebook Live. Please watch your email closely and check the CBI page for all dates, times, and topics taking place on Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube. From regular Facebook Live clergy check-ins, Camp Stein, and Jewish Camp at Home, to adult learning opportunities like Rabbi Burns' class this Tuesday at noon on Who Controls the Narrative. My next book group, we are reading The Dove Keepers, and the conversation will be May 7th. Every Thursday at 3 p.m., we're having coffee talk. It's just a chance to chat and connect and talk about what articles we read that day and what museums we virtually toured and have the chance to socialize. We've got an upcoming CBI Parents Happy Hour. Watch your email for more information on that. Cantor is singing along with the preschool and everybody else weekday mornings at 10. Yes. And an upcoming class with Cantor Ettinger on meeting the musical mind. So yes, lots happening. We are far apart, but more connected than ever. Don't forget to email cbicares@cbiaz.org if you're facing a physical, emotional, or spiritual need. Or of course, you can always just call the office or reach out directly to your clergy. Lastly, don't forget to let us know if you have earned a sticker for B'nai Mitzvah credit by watching and participating in this service. You can do so by sending us a selfie or just an email. We'll take you on the honor system if you bother to send us an email telling us you watched. We will believe you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. And also this coming Monday at 4 p.m., since that is Yom Hashoah, I will be taking a few moments to remember those who lost their lives in the Shoah at 4 p.m. on Facebook Live for those of you who would like to join me.
And one other thing.
Yes.
Cantor and I are going to be looking at dates for our trip to Israel.
We going.
We going. With Pilgrim's Rest Baptist Church.
Yeah.
We had initially discussed dates in October, but better safe than sorry. We're going to do November, December, and then Rabbi Mason Barkin has been away, but
I'm actually going to be out of town that week.
I have
so-
dates for our Israel trip next June
Yay.
for the 100th birthday, so that's all being worked out. That's going to be big Jewish fun. The good news is I get to go twice,
Yep.
so there you have it. I'm sorry, I interrupted. Do you have
No,
another
that's
announcement?
okay, that's okay. So I invite us all to join together on page 570 or 278 as we count the Omer, the 49-day period between Passover and Shavuot. Today is day 9 of the Omer, and I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer. Hineni mukhan mezuman lekayem mitzvat aseh shel sefirat haomer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddishanu mitzvotav etzivanu al sefirat haomer. Hayom tisha yamim shehem echad shavua u'shnei yamim laomer. Today is the 9th day, which is 1 week and 2 days of the Omer.
Who'd have thought prayers would turn into word problems?
All right.
How many weeks is it when it's... Okay, it gets trickier when we get into the 20s and 30s.
Especially
yes.
3 weeks and
I'm looking forward
5
to that.
days.
We're going to conclude now with Aleinu and Kaddish. Please, if you wish, stand. We are on page 586 or 282 for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
On this Shabbat, we share our deepest sympathies as we note the passing of the following people who were recently laid to their eternal rest. Helen Wazotsky, mother of Pearl Marr Alan Garber, father of Stuart Garber, Barbara Winograd, wife of Dr. Herbert Winograd. And on this Shabbat, we remember with love those of our congregational family whose yard sites occur this week. Marianne Anston, Norman Bandler, Faye Comer, Catherine Dickinson, Milton Ehrlich, Milton Falkoff, Jacqueline Feinstein, Jana Fryman, Ethel Galinsky, Yvette Gilburn, Harry Goldbaum, Luella Goldman, Tilly C. Goldstein, Daniel Gordon, Albert Hart, Lillian Isaacson, Rabbi Philip W. Jaffa, Irene Katanik, Rose Myers-Katz, Richard Kay, Elliot Kelman, Shelley Lauren Krause, Regine Claire Leeds Bicknell, Alan Lefko, Herman Lerner, Jean Lesser, Irving Lubin, Tilly Miller, Lester Reamer, Dora Rosen, David Roskoff, Esther Schoenberg, Meyer Seelan, Sidney Shapiro, William Isaac Simmons, Ann R. Tinnen, Sam Turkin, Abraham Turtletaub, Ruth Weil, Manning Weingarten, Robert J. Wilf. If you wish to say the name of a loved one at this time or type in the name of a loved one into the comments, please do so. Every Shabbat we remember with love and affection the 6 million who perished in the Shoah, including the 1.5 million children who have no one to say Kaddish for them, especially as we approach Yom Hashoah, and the soldiers and civilians of the state of Israel who have given their lives for our Jewish homeland. May all of their souls be bound up in the bonds of eternal life. So together we join those in mourning. Kaddish, page 598 or 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabah. Ve'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich machutei. B'chayechonu v'yomechonu v'chayei dachol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala v'izman kariv imru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabah mevorach le'olam u'le'amei amaya. Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnasei v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekutsha b'richu. Ve'elah min kol birchata v'shirata tishbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to those who mourn and comfort to those who are grieving. So together we say, Amen. Amen. Before Kiddush and Hamotzi, Cantor, sing us out with something fun.
All right, a little Oseh Shalom, shall we? Okay.
Oseh Shalom bimromav, Hu yaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru. Amen. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Hu yaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru. Amen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Hu yaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, moreh peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'chatzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'v'chatzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom Kehilah lemikra'ei kodesh, zecher letziat mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kiddashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'v'chatzon hinchaltanu. Lift them up. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
Let's join together in words of Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, amotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'tei avon. Shabbat shalom. Koach. Yasher Koach. Yasher Koach. Oh, thank you. During your coffee talks, do you ever say, I'm getting a little verklempt, I need you to talk amongst yourselves. Here is your subject, talk amongst yourselves. Oh, I'm sure. Are we off?